Archive 2117. The Internet Incident. Former classification. Internal consultation. The wrong question. There are many ways an investigation can begin. Some begin with a crashed reconnaissance probe. Others with a misplaced scientific instrument. A few begin with a diplomatic complaint from a civilization that officially does not know diplomacy exists. This one began with paperwork. Not ours. Theirs. The request originated from research station Meridian, a long-term scientific observation platform assigned to Sector 47-9S, your solar system. Meridian did not belong to our division. Its mission was purely academic. Observe, record, never interfere. Like most research stations, it considered itself intellectually superior to every administrative branch of the Galactic Union. Like most research stations, it was also remarkably skilled at creating administrative problems. The station's commanding officer was Captain Tarev. A competent officer, methodical, patient, entirely unsuited for command over scientists. Scientists, regardless of species, possess a remarkable ability to interpret the phrase "strictly prohibited" as worthy of further investigation. Captain Tarev understood this better than most. His concern centered on one particular researcher, Analyst Vera, an exceptionally talented cultural specialist assigned to monitor human technological development. Her official responsibilities included studying communication, entertainment, literature, and social behavior. Unofficially, she had become rather fond of humanity. Not emotionally, professionally. At least that was the explanation she consistently entered into her performance reviews. As part of her ongoing research, she had begun consuming large quantities of human media. Books, films, music, television. Eventually, she discovered the internet. This by itself was not unusual. Every cultural analyst eventually reaches the internet. Many never fully recover. Captain Tarev's report explained that analyst Vera had become fascinated by a curious human custom. Rather than merely consuming fictional stories, humans voluntarily created new ones. Millions of them. Every day. Without funding. Without institutional supervision. Without peer review. To several departments within the Galactic Academy, this behavior remained difficult to classify. To Vera, it was irresistible. After several months of observation, she made a decision. She would participate. Using a carefully fabricated identity, she created an account on one of humanity's many video distribution platforms. Her intention was simple: publish fictional science fiction stories. Nothing more. No classified information. No authentic technology. No cultural guidance. No predictions. Only stories. Captain Tarev, however, had read enough regulations to become uncomfortable. Galactic law prohibited direct cultural contamination of pre-FTL civilizations. The regulation itself was straightforward. Its interpretation was considerably less so. Was publishing fiction interference? Did inspiration count as contamination? What if humans borrowed ideas? What if one particularly imaginative engineer watched one of her stories? What if an invention inspired by fiction accelerated technological development? These questions had no clear answers. The regulations, unfortunately, had been written several centuries before anyone imagined a planetary communication network where billions of individuals voluntarily exchanged ideas with complete strangers. Captain Tarev therefore did something few commanders enjoyed doing. He contacted us. Officially, our organization did not exist. Unofficially, everyone knew exactly which office to call whenever the regulations became inconvenient. Our division specialized in situations where the answer was technically no, but practically, it depends. Captain Tarev's consultation was concise. He described the situation. provided copies of the published stories, attached a psychological evaluation of analyst Vera, included 47 references to existing containment protocols, and concluded with a single question: had cultural contamination occurred? The request arrived on my desk 3 days later. By then, I had already accumulated several decades of experience in Sector 47-9S. Enough experience to recognize a familiar pattern. Whenever someone asked us one very specific question, they were almost always worried about the wrong problem. The preliminary review took less than 2 hours. Our specialists examined every story, every publication, every interaction, every comment posted beneath the videos. The conclusion was unanimous. No contamination had occurred. Human audiences interpreted the stories exactly as intended. As fiction, some praised the writing, some criticized it, some argued endlessly about details that were entirely irrelevant. One individual insisted the narrator was secretly an artificial intelligence. Another claimed the stories had been written by 3 different authors. Several declared that humanity would never survive first contact. Several others argued that humanity already had. One viewer spent 6 consecutive days debating fictional propulsion systems with complete strangers. Our analysts classified that behavior as typical internet activity. Captain Tarev, we concluded, had nothing to worry about. The case should have ended there. It almost did. Then one of our junior investigators made a routine recommendation. Since the team was already connected to Earth's global information network, perhaps they should perform a broader environmental scan, just to ensure no secondary contamination had occurred. It was an ordinary suggestion, entirely reasonable, entirely harmless. The authorization required only a single electronic signature. Someone approved it. I have long since forgotten who. The internal inquiry attempted to identify the responsible official. It never succeeded. That authorization would eventually become one of the most expensive administrative decisions ever made by the Cultural Containment Division. Not because we found evidence that analyst Vera had influenced humanity, but because, while looking for something that did not exist, we discovered something we had never thought to investigate. And that discovery had absolutely nothing to do with Captain Tarev's original question. Part 2. The audit. The authorization was issued at 9:14 Galactic Standard Time. The environmental scan began 6 minutes later. Our investigators did not search for classified technology, nor hidden transmitters, nor encrypted communications. They searched for one simple question: had any non-human individual established an unauthorized presence within Earth's global information network? The answer arrived sooner than expected. Yes, far sooner. The first discovery seemed insignificant. An independent content creator whose physical appearance matched no registered human phenotype. Gray skin, unusual eyes, slightly elongated facial structure. No attempt whatsoever to imitate normal human proportions. Our investigators immediately opened an infiltration alert. They compared facial measurements, bone structure, retinal symmetry, genetic probability. The results were concerning. There was an 87% probability that the individual belonged to a Federation member species. An emergency notification was sent to regional security. 3 hours later, the alert was canceled. The suspect was, in fact, human. He simply enjoyed applying elaborate cosmetic pigments, decorative facial prosthetics, and hair coloration that our recognition software initially classified as biologically improbable. The report was updated with a new recommendation. Human fashion should no longer be considered useful for species identification. The investigators resumed the audit. The second discovery was considerably less reassuring. Another channel, another unusual individual. This one exhibited pale blue skin, silver contact lenses, and spoke calmly for hours about astronomy while wearing clothing remarkably similar to a standard galactic survey uniform. Surely we assumed another false alarm. It was not. He really was an extraterrestrial, a junior atmospheric physicist from the Denari Cooperative. He had been stationed 3 systems away. During questioning, he explained that he believed complete visual concealment to be unnecessary. Humans assume I'm wearing makeup. He was correct. Millions of viewers had complimented his excellent costume. The disciplinary committee reluctantly acknowledged that his assessment was statistically accurate. He received only a formal warning. By the end of the first week, the audit had identified 14 unauthorized alien accounts. By the second week of 43. By the end of the month, the number had exceeded 200. None of them had attempted espionage. None had revealed advanced technology. Most had simply become internet personalities. One retired navigation officer reviewed antique spacecraft. A xenobotanist maintained an enormously popular gardening channel. An engineer demonstrated mechanical restorations while carefully omitting the tools that violated interstellar export regulations. One archaeologist spent several years politely correcting historical inaccuracies in online discussions. No one believed him. His account was eventually suspended for spreading misinformation. He later appealed the decision. The appeal was rejected. The investigators noted, with some admiration, that humanity's moderation systems were unexpectedly effective. Then they discovered the pets. Interstellar regulations regarding biological imports are among the strictest ever written. For good reason. Every living organism transported between ecosystems requires registration, quarantine ecological assessment, and no fewer than 12 authorization forms. Yet one channel attracted particular attention. Its owner appeared every week introducing viewers to what he described as "my adorable little companion." The creature possessed 6 legs, 3 independently rotating eyes, 2 retractable mouths, and enough teeth to concern every biologist assigned to the investigation. The comments beneath the videos were overwhelmingly positive. "He's so cute. Look at those funny eyes. I wish I had one." The investigators immediately identified the animal. It was a juvenile Karun stalker, native to the moon Vescariv, an apex ambush predator. Adults routinely reached 3 meters in length. Their saliva could dissolve silicate minerals. Their preferred hunting strategy involved remaining perfectly motionless for several days before attacking anything that demonstrated curiosity. Fortunately, juveniles displayed behavior remarkably similar to playful domestic animals. The owner explained that the animal had been legally registered before his retirement. He simply enjoyed sharing videos. When informed that transporting the creature anywhere near a developing civilization violated at least 27 containment statutes, he appeared genuinely surprised. But everyone thinks it's computer-generated. Again, he was correct. Our analysts reviewed thousands of viewer comments. Most believed the creature was either an advanced puppet, a digital animation, or an unusually cooperative cat. One viewer insisted it was clearly a dog. That conclusion remains difficult to explain. By this point, the investigation had expanded well beyond Captain Tarev's original consultation. Entire departments became involved. Statisticians, behavioral specialists, cultural analysts, legal advisors. Someone even contacted the Department of Interstellar Communications to determine whether maintaining a monetized video channel constituted commercial interaction with a pre-FTL civilization. The department replied that no regulation explicitly prohibited earning advertising revenue, provided the creator properly declared the income for taxation. That answer generated a separate investigation. Not one of the identified extraterrestrials had been paying union taxes. Unfortunately, that was still not the most disturbing discovery. While cataloging these unauthorized channels, our analysts noticed an unexpected pattern. Many of these individuals were subscribed to the same collection of human channels. Channels dedicated to unidentified flying objects, alien conspiracies, ancient civilizations, government cover-ups, and speculative science fiction. At first, this seemed merely ironic. Then one analyst opened the comment sections. What he found there transformed an amusing administrative audit into a full-scale internal security investigation. Part 3. The recommendation. The comments should have been harmless. Most consisted of the usual internet exchanges. Compliments, arguments, wild speculation, occasionally all three in the same sentence. Then our investigators noticed something unusual. Whenever a human conspiracy theorist accidentally described one of our procedures with surprising accuracy, the first replies almost always came from the same accounts. Not humans, extraterrestrials. They simply could not resist correcting the mistakes. Actually, atmospheric observation probes do not operate that way. No interstellar agency would organize its archives like that. That propulsion system would violate basic containment protocols. To a human reader, these responses appeared to be nothing more than enthusiastic science fiction fans debating imaginary worlds. To us, they were unauthorized technical discussions taking place in public. No classified information had been disclosed. But the pattern was unmistakable. Curiosity had overcome discipline. The Cultural Containment Division immediately froze the audit. Every identified account was contacted. Some disappeared overnight. Others quietly changed their identities. Several claimed they had believed the entire activity to be an officially tolerated cultural exercise. One individual insisted that his supervisor had subscribed to his channel. His supervisor admitted this was correct. The investigation expanded again. Internal interviews produced an unexpected conclusion. Very few extraterrestrials had joined Earth's internet with any intention of influencing humanity. Most had arrived for reasons that sounded surprisingly familiar. I wanted to discuss astronomy. I only uploaded gardening demonstrations. My spacecraft restoration videos have an excellent community. I was curious about human music. I stayed because someone asked for a second episode. One senior astrophysicist confessed that he had originally intended to spend only 15 minutes observing human online behavior. The monitoring software later calculated that he had remained connected for 347 consecutive hours. He described the experience using a human expression. I fell into a rabbit hole. The investigators had no idea what rabbits were. The phrase, nevertheless, entered the official report. Behavioral analysts soon recognized the underlying mechanism. Human communication networks possessed an unexpected property. They rewarded curiosity. Constantly, a recommendation led to another recommendation. One discussion linked to another. An educational lecture somehow ended with antique cooking techniques. Those led to restoration workshops. The workshops led to historical documentaries. The documentaries led to debates about whether ancient monuments had been built by extraterrestrials. At which point actual extraterrestrials frequently began reading the comments. Some even participated. The irony was considered statistically significant. The final report reached a conclusion no one had anticipated. Earth did not represent a contamination risk to the Galactic Union. Earth's internet did. Not because humans were spreading dangerous ideas. Because they had accidentally created one of the most effective attention-capturing systems ever encountered by a pre-FTL civilization. The recommendation submitted to the Galactic Council contained 43 proposed countermeasures. Mandatory internet awareness training before any assignment near Sol. Maximum daily exposure limits. Automatic monitoring of extended online activity. Psychological evaluations for personnel showing symptoms of compulsive engagement. Prohibition against maintaining anonymous public accounts without departmental authorization. Registration of all non-human companion animals appearing in online media. A complete revision of the containment manual. One particularly ambitious committee proposed installing network filters aboard every observation station. Another suggested delaying internet access until personnel had completed emotional resilience training. A third argued that no researcher under 100 years of age should be permitted unsupervised access to human social platforms. The proposal immediately generated fierce opposition. Senior researchers argued that such restrictions violated academic freedom. Security officials insisted they were essential. Medical officers requested additional studies. The legal department questioned whether the union even possessed jurisdiction over recreational browsing. 3 separate committees were formed to determine which committee should evaluate the original proposal. As far as I am aware, they are still meeting. Captain Tarev eventually received our formal response. His original concern was answered in precisely one sentence. Analyst Vera's fictional stories do not constitute prohibited cultural contamination. No disciplinary action recommended. The remaining 418 pages discussed an entirely different subject. Officially, the case became known as the Internet Incident. Unofficially, within the Cultural Containment Division, it became the document every new field agent was required to read before receiving authorization to observe humanity. Not because humans were especially dangerous. Quite the opposite. Humans had accomplished something no predictive model, no strategic simulation, and no intelligence assessment had ever considered possible. Without intending to, they had built a network so endlessly fascinating that experienced field agents, disciplined scientists, decorated officers, and even retired bureaucrats repeatedly forgot why they had connected in the first place. For a civilization that had not yet learned to travel faster than light, that was a remarkably impressive achievement. And if the latest committee recommendations are ever approved, future assignments to Sector 47-9S may include mandatory limits on internet usage. I sincerely wish the committee good luck enforcing them.